For years, Western automakers believed they had the world's best way of building cars. Then something changed. Chinese electric car companies started producing vehicles that weren't just cheaper. They were developing them faster, integrating more of the technology themselves, and putting serious pressure on manufacturers that had dominated the industry for generations. Now companies like Ford, Volkswagen, and Stellantis are changing the way they build electric cars. And there is one question sitting underneath all of it. Could this eventually make the cars we buy cheaper? The strange part is that Western automakers aren't simply copying the shape of a BYD, they're studying what happens underneath the body. Because the real advantage isn't necessarily the car you see. It's the way the car is built. BYD has spent years bringing more of the vehicle's technology and manufacturing process under its own control, particularly when it comes to batteries and electric drive components. That matters because every time a manufacturer removes unnecessary complexity, it has another opportunity to reduce cost. And batteries are where this becomes especially important. For an electric vehicle, the battery is one of the most expensive parts of the entire car. BYD's use of lithium iron phosphate batteries, along with its highly integrated battery designs, has helped it pursue lower-cost electric vehicles without simply stripping away the technology buyers want. That creates a problem for Western automakers. They can't compete with a company like BYD simply by making a slightly better-looking electric car. They have to figure out how to build the entire thing more efficiently. And this is where the story gets interesting. Ford CEO Jim Farley has openly talked about the threat from Chinese automakers and Ford's need to develop affordable EVs capable of competing with them. Ford is now working on a new generation of lower-cost electric vehicles designed from the ground up around cost and efficiency. That phrase "from the ground up" is important, because you can't take an expensive vehicle architecture, make a few changes, and expect it to suddenly cost as little as a car designed around low-cost production from the beginning. Western automakers have decades of factories, suppliers, and production systems built around a different business model. Changing that is enormously difficult. And some companies are taking another route. Stellantis is working directly with Chinese EV maker Leapmotor, with an electric SUV planned for production at Stellantis' Zaragoza plant in Spain. The partnership is being used as part of Stellantis' effort to become more competitive against Chinese manufacturers. And that's the bigger shift. Western automakers are no longer asking whether Chinese EV technology is worth studying. They're asking how much of the Chinese manufacturing advantage they can reproduce themselves, or whether they should work with the companies that already have it. The pressure is becoming harder to ignore. Chinese automakers now account for about 16% of Europe's overall passenger vehicle market, while their share of Europe's EV shipments is approaching 25%. That means this isn't just a technological competition anymore, it's a cost competition. And that could eventually change something the customer actually notices. The price tag. Because if Ford discovers how to build an EV for less, Volkswagen has to respond. If Volkswagen finds a way to reduce its costs, Stellantis has another reason to reduce theirs. And if Chinese manufacturers continue pushing prices and technology forward, every manufacturer has a reason to become more efficient. That creates a competition where the biggest prize may not be market share. It could be the ability to sell the next generation of electric cars for less money. But there is no guarantee that every dollar saved in the factory will immediately reach the customer. Automakers can use lower costs to improve margins, invest in new technology, or reduce prices. That's what makes the next few years so interesting. BYD has shown Western automakers that an electric car doesn't have to be built around the same expensive manufacturing system they've used for decades.